How much is a lot of money to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you made, say, millions of dollars?
No.
Life is a business. Them say money talks and they listen. Another day, another system. When you cough with that sickness, give you cough syrup, drink it. Chug it till you overdose. Plug it till you overload. 100 cents into one piece of paper, frankly, that's Benjamin. Never go to sleep lest that fever leaves me, boy, that's Benadryl. Right until my hand cramps and my nose bleed down to my genitals. As long as I'm still me when I sleep, I don't care if I get a deal. Wake up with a weight on my chest, taking my breath, making me bench press like Jacob. Been beat by my own bros in my own home and I still make it, I'm a chaser. Step off the gas faster than flash past the flag, make it last till I'm burnt out, no extinguisher. Learned how to shoot and curved out with the finisher. Slashing the net, passing the test, thrashing the set after the best I ever did. Yo, dragging the den, grabbing the pen, at it again and again and again. As God is my witness, stay making waves like a do-rag on a fade. And I say, sapase, to my Haitians getting paid. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Life is a business. Them say money talks and they listen. Another day, another system. When you cough with that sickness, give you cough syrup, drink it. Chug it till you overdose. Plug it till you overload. 100 cents into one piece of paper, frankly, that's Benjamin. Never go to sleep lest that fever leaves me, boy, that's Benadryl. Right until my hand cramps and my nose bleed down to my genitals. As long as I'm still me when I sleep, I don't care if I get a deal. I don't care if y'all niggas scorn and laugh, nope. When I say I was born to rap, if I was born to sing or born to dance or born to teach and preach science or extended math, doing this and that, good or bad, your opinion is equivalent to listening to Trinidad James. I don't care about your sense of fashion. I never want to hear that my sets are clashing, that my pants are baggy like my man Aladdin. If you pass me them socks, I'ma mix and match 'em with business slacks and a pink stocking cap. And I listen to the people say, stop your whack. Put a baggy shirt first and a singlet last. And I'll top it all off with a Christmas jacket. Get like that, I'll flip my cap and turn to a new trend, call that tit for tat. Blinking black, whipping lash, renegade in the wave now, so I splish and splash. Words get stuck when they hit my trachea. Too hard to swallow, so I spit that rap. Now I'm on a hard path that I walk alone. Blurry eyes see dirt till I spot the throne. Near some bonfire, praise to God alone. And you've only been to earth, but you mock the unknown. Life is a business. Them say money talks and they listen. Another day, another system. When you cough with that sickness, give you cough syrup, drink it. Chug it till you overdose. Plug it till you overload. 100 cents into one piece of paper, frankly, that's Benjamin. Never go to sleep lest that fever leaves me, boy, that's Benadryl. Right until my hand cramps and my nose bleed down to my genitals. As long as I'm still me when I sleep, I don't care if I get a deal.
Are you a rich man?
When you mean rich, what you mean?
You have a lot of possessions? A lot of money in the bank?
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life, forever.
Palace, what you cooking?
Yo, if you know me, then don't say I'll pay you back. I'll do it for any reason. Grinding like I'm on Olympics, winter, summer, any season. Think I got that trade from my black mama doing everything. And know she must provide, she fill her wallet up by any means. And think she ain't about it for her children, she'll make enemies. And if she got it, then you got it. That love, you won't ever see it. Know her prayers why you don't see ghosts, you don't see any demons. Rolling, hallucinogens, amphetamines. And medication, man, that's all we want, that's all we ever needed. When I start to shift, I watch that clock, cause we got better things than listening to people that just talk and don't do anything. Block her while she typing what she sent, I guess I'll never read it. Buddy, if it's me or against, we know who ain't losing. All you gotta do is show me love because I ain't choosy. How you know he's losing it? Because he won't stop making music. Saying how he's gonna be a GOAT before the day is over. I won't even do it for me, she want a Range Rover. Been in quarantine, it's getting harder trying to stay sober. Think you move in silence, I do limbo, I could lay lower. Swear nobody know I gotta be from Zaytoven. Buddy, if it's me or against, we know who ain't losing. All you gotta do is show me love because I ain't choosy. How you know he's losing it? Because he won't stop making music. Saying how he's gonna be a GOAT go before the day is over. What is wrong with a little crazy? I don't know, but I feel amazing. What you wanna know till proven guilty, girl, I'm vindicated. You don't understand new fashion. Yeah, you might have been the greatest. Running with batons, you do your part, let other niggas take it. This album is therapy. Ask them how they feeling lately. You don't know I love children. I just wanna have plenty babies. I ain't calling out any favors. Good friends that bring the ladies. Came with about 6'10s. Party like it's 2080. Trigger warning, next line. Niggas up and coming. That don't make it less wrong. Just cause you ain't penetrated. Think it's best you get gone. Worry about how you finna make it. Hope you got that Teflon. No hip hop's affiliated. Buddy, if it's me or against, we know who ain't losing. All you gotta do is show me love because I ain't choosy. How you know he's losing it? Because he won't stop making music. Saying how he's gonna be a GOAT before the day is over. I won't even do it for me. She want a Range Rover. Been in quarantine, it's getting harder trying to stay sober. Think you moving silence, I do limbo, I could lay lower. Swear nobody know I gotta be from Beethoven. Buddy, if it's me or against, we know who ain't losing. All you gotta do is show me love because I ain't choosy. How you know he's losing it? Because he won't stop making music. Saying how he's gonna be a GOAT before the day is over. Okay.
Yes. Salute. We're back again with another stream. Yes, it's still Yasaf Samora, and this is your host, Yasaf Samora. So yeah, we're back again, like I said, and yeah, we're gonna get into it. But before we do, as you know, this is the African edition. We're going back edition. So yeah, we gotta start with the drum. Akwaba. That means welcome. Yes, Yeah, that's the African edition. So yes, we're gonna get into this now. Yes, man, and yeah, we're gonna talk about getting to know, basically, where you come from. This is more so to the diaspora, should I say, because why? It's about basically there's got to be a time, and as you see, if you watch the news and so on and so forth, then you know that the time is coming fast when we gotta start thinking about moving back. Why do I say that? It's because right now, the way things are going, Africa is going to be their own masters, i.e., their destiny is going to be in their own hands, i.e., they're going to be in control of what they do. So with that, Africa is going to start to prosper because that is where all the minerals and everything else is, basically. So naturally, we're going to prosper. And when we do, naturally, people are going to want to come to a prosperous place. I'm talking about the black people, obviously, because if you're over here or overseas and your own country is prospering, then you're going to want to go over there to be a part of it. And so before you do, you have to understand and know the people that are already there. We have to also learn by past experiences, i.e. Liberia, as an example. And yeah, we got to learn not to repeat the same mistakes that we did from before. So yeah, I feel like you have to, you see, when we from the diaspora go back, even those who left and go back, when we do get back, we think our knowledge is superior to everyone else back home. So therefore, we start to yield some kind of what's the name? An authoritative type of hand, so to speak, which doesn't always end well. So this is why this is also part of getting back and getting to know the people, the culture, the roots, and all of that. Now, I've pulled up a source, and this is a general source, a Wikipedia source, which is going to help us guide us through, basically, because if I say I'm going to do it, I might leave out certain things. But if we have some kind of foundation to go with, then yeah, we can have a clearer understanding. And also, being that I am from Ghana, I can critique again the source to see whether it's accurate. Because if you don't know the history and you read it, you might ask yourself, I wonder if this is accurate. I wonder if this is true. What this says is true. What that says is true. This is why I'm here. Now, when we speak about African culture, we're not speaking, okay, Ghana's not African culture. No. I mean, okay, Ghana's not the whole of African culture, is what I mean. There are others, but we can't put everything all in one. So what I'm doing is I'm starting off with Ghana. Why? Because I'm from Ghana, and you always have to start with what you know. So hence why I'm starting with Ghana. But I would do another stream basically with another set of people from Africa. So you get to understand that even though we might speak different languages and so on, everything is near enough the same. Yeah, but we're gonna look into that. So let's start by looking at the culture of Ghana and the people. So yeah, let me pull up this source quickly, and then we're gonna go through it. I don't think we're gonna read everything, but we're gonna read a bit so we get a good idea, and we're gonna walk through it. So at least we know as we're moving what we're talking about. So let me see if we can see this. 1 second. Can we view this? Is this viewing? Okay. Yeah, I believe we can see it. All right, so let me see if I can make it slightly bigger. Yeah, that might be too big. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back and see if we have. Yeah, I think that's big enough. Yeah. So yes, as we can see here, this is the culture. Now, let me just remove myself from. Yeah. Right. Okay. So yeah, this is the culture of Ghana. So we're gonna go through it, and yeah. So as you can see, It says this article needs additional citations for verifications. Please help improve this article by adding citations to reliable sources. Well, here I am. I mean, I'm not going to do it in terms of writing it down, but I'm here to give you the sources, the backup sources, if need be. So let's do it. Okay, so this is just a general overview of the country that we call Ghana. 28.21 million people and many native groups, okay, such as the Akans, who are in the center and the south of the country, the Ga and Adangbe in and around east of Accra, the Guan people in the rainforest, the Dagombas, Mamprusis, there from in the north, we have the Gurunzis, who are in the far north, and then you have the Gonjas, who are in the northern region. Now, English is the official language, but we have our indigenous languages as well, which states here. So we have the trees, which is the Fantis, the Ashantis. They speak that, the Frafra, which is the northern side, Gonja, Mampruli, Dagbani, and then you have the Gaz, Gadangbes, and then you have the Ewes. And these are all languages by the respective people. So we're going to look at the people individually, basically. And so let's do it. The Akan people, obviously, they live in Akan land and are one of the few matrilineal societies in West Africa. The matrilineal system of the Akans continues to be economically and politically important. Each lineage controlled by the land farm by its members functioned as a religious unit in the variation of its ancestors, supervised marriages and settled internal disputes among its members. I did not read that right because I didn't want to read it in the first place, but it's there if you want to read it. I just want to get into the meat of things, basically. So it says, Akan kings, once renowned for their splendor and wealth, retained dignitary status after colonization. Celebration of the Akan kings lives on in tradition of the Golden Stool. The Akans are noted for their expertise in several forms of craft work, particularly the weaving, wood carving, ceramics, fertility doors, metallurgy, and kente cloth. Now, these are skills basically that we have. You see, when we start to build back this time, it's not going to be we're going to build another West in Africa. No, because if that was the case, then we might as well stay in the West. It's going to be a different pattern, a different way of life. Because why? We're going to go back to the natural way of life. We're going to have our own science people come in to bring us back to the natural foods, growing them naturally. There's not going to be, we're going to keep the forest. We're going to maintain these places, make it everything is going to be natural. Basically. So when we from the West come back, we're inputting into these crafts, the wood carvings, the ceramics, the cloths, you know what I'm saying? All of these things basically that highlight us basically as who we are. See? So let's continue on. The traditional kente cloth. Okay, we know about the kente cloth. We don't want to go too much into that because we don't want to stay too much on on the accounts, basically. So you can read it for yourself. So then we go into the Gadangbes. They are, and this is, you have to understand that these are, though the same people, they just speak a different language. Hence, they will have slightly different characters, so to speak. So you have to know how to deal with an Ashanti and how to deal with a Gadangbe. You dig? So it's not just like, hey, you know, everybody has their ways and you have to understand their ways. So this is why we're breaking it down. So yes, the Gadangbe people, or simply Ga people, inhabit the greater Accra region. The Ga have different common languages: Ga, Krobo, She, Usudoku, Shai, Bubla, and Ada. And these are to mention a few. The Adangbe inhabit the East Plain, while the Gas occupy the western portions of the Accra coastline. Both languages are derived from a common root language in modern Ga, and the common root language and modern Ga and Adangbe languages are still similar today, despite the archaeological evidence that the Proto-Ga speakers relied on millet and yam civilization. The modern Ga Adangbe resides in what used to be fishing communities. So these are fishermen. These are fishers of the sea, basically. And yeah, I'm just want to brush through it. It says the presence of major industrial, commercial, and governmental institutions in the cities and towns, as well as increasing migration of other people into the area, has not prevented the Ga people from maintaining aspects of their tradition, even though Twi is an important immigrant languages in their lands. Okay, so what they're saying basically is that the Gas are still Gas, speak Ga, even though Twi is the common language, basically. So yeah, let's move on. The Dagombas. The Dagombas come from the kingdom of Dagbon, and the kingdom is the earliest in Ghana. For centuries, the area inhabited by the Dagomba people has been the scene of movements of people engaged in conquest, expansion, and north-south and east-west trade. See, this is important. These are our brothers, but you have to understand, when you read this, again, you see, there's one thing that bugs me about these sources. We haven't come across it yet, but I'm sure we'll come across it as we're moving on. But they like to say the Ashantis were the slave sellers and we sold ourselves and stuff like that. You see, that is crazy to me, because how come so many Ashantis ended up in the diaspora all over the place if they were selling slaves? That doesn't make no sense. But anyway, we know that if you want to know who sold slaves then, you have to go, well, you have to look today and see who's selling slaves today, and that will give you your answer, because it's a characteristic thing. People don't change. It's in your DNA. It's in your DNA. So yeah, hence why I have to bring that, because it is history. It is part of what happened. And so it needs to be addressed. And so therefore, yeah, let me read that again. It says that the Dagomba peoples have been the scene of movements of people engaged in conquest, expansion, and north-south, east-west trade. Many terms from Arabic, Hausa to Douala are seen in the Dagbani language. Due to the importance of the trans-Saharan trade and the West African trade, the historic impact that the religion has had in the area. So it's telling you basically that it was through this Saharan trade and the West African trade is what these guys were dealing with. But that's another stream for another day. But I just wanted to make that known, basically, because we're talking facts, and yeah, we're looking at history and the people. So yes, we go into the Ewe people. The Ewe people occupy the north, south, eastern Ghana and parts of neighboring Togo and Benin. The Ewe follow a patrilineal structure. You see, sorry, I got to go back up again. All of the Akans follow a patrilineal structure. I kind of glossed over that in the beginning when we read about the Ashantis and the matrilineal thing. But yeah, we all follow the patrilineal structure, meaning that the founder of a community becomes a chief and is usually succeeded by his paternal relatives. Ewe religion is organized around a creator or a deity, Mawu, and over 600 other deities. The Ewe are more traditionally inclined in terms of religion and belief. Many village celebrations and ceremonies take place in honor of one or more deities. You see, this is the thing. We will get into that, but again, the worship of other deities. I mean, we know it says quite clearly that there was one, but there's over 600 others. You see, to me, these are the things that I feel brought us down because we was doing other things rather than concentrating on our own gods. You see, Mawu and the god of the Ga, Adangbes, who is also called Atananyumo, and the god of the Ashantis, Tridiampon Kwame. These are all the same god, and they all follow the same practices, similar, should I say, practices, and so, and have similar traditions too. And so, and this is where Christianity plagiarized this structure, basically, where they have the supreme God, which they call El or Elohim or whatever. And then you have other names, El Shaddai, El this, El that, Yahweh, Jehovah, and all of these things. And they try and attribute, they say it's attributed to one God, but he has many names. It's the same thing they're trying to copy off the people of Africa, whereby there's different tribes with different gods or the different names for the god, but it's the same God. So let's go deep. Should I say deeper? Coastal Ewe depends on the fishing trade. So they're fishermen too, but also inland are usually farmers and keep livestock. The variation in economic activities have led to specialization. The Ewe also weave kente cloth. You see, it's similar. When you look at the traditions and the ways, they're similar, even though there's differences. And those similarities is what connects all those tribes together. But any which way, let's carry on. Women in Ghana, very important. The diaspora are always worried about women in Africa and the role of women, because In the diaspora, there's much freedom. But let's see and let's compare. So, women in pre modern society were seen as bearers of children, retailers of fish, and farmers. Traditionally, women's childbearing abilities were perceived as a way for lineage ancestors to be reborn. Okay. I'll leave that alone. Let's carry on. In pre-colonial times, polygamy was encouraged, especially by wealthy men. In patrilineal societies, dowry received from marrying of daughters was traditionally seen as an acknowledgement to parents for raising their daughters well. In the last couple of decades, the female gender roles have evolved tremendously. Ghanaian women now account for 43.1% of the working class in Ghana. Females have climbed to the upper leadership echelons of politics, careers, business, and other sectors, notably political personalities like Joyce Bamford-Addo, who is the Speaker, Fifth Session, Parliament, XYZ, and yeah. We go on to the festivals now. So now we know a bit about the people. So we know that the people are not the same in terms of languages. It varies wherever you go, basically. And wherever you go, there's a festival that goes with the people and the language. So this is the festivals that we are going to get into right now. So the Akwasidai Festival is celebrated by the Ashanti people and the chiefs in Ashanti, as well as the Ashanti diaspora. The festival is celebrated on a Sunday, once every 6 weeks. The Panafest celebrates roots and African Americans with roots from the region often visit and celebrate their heritage. Ashanti Yam Festival is observed for 5 days, starting with a Tuesday, as dictated by the local chief priest. It marks the first harvest of yams during autumn, subsequent to the monsoon season. So this is about a food festival, and what is the significance? Religiously, the festival is used to thank the gods and the ancestors for the new harvest and to traditionally outdoor the new yam. So, see, these were practices that we used to do, or we still do, basically, but we used to use them as a thanksgiving to our God, Tridiampon Kwame, and the ancestors who walked before us. But we have acquired many other gods, which, again, I feel was our downfall. But again, let's not digress. Let's carry on. The Damba Festival is celebrated by the Dagbon people and other ethnic groups in Ghana. During this festival, there is a colorful and vibrant display of the Ghanaian shmok and their traditional dresses. Also, the Fire Festival is celebrated during the first month of the Dagomba lunar calendar. This festival takes place at night and involves fire processions and drumming and dancing to war songs. Okay, so hold on. All right, when the first yam tubers are harvested, the people of Dagbon mark a ceremony to declare the opening of the yam season. So the people of Dagbon, as we read earlier, are from the north. They are the northerners. So when we say northerners, that's where the Fulanis, the Hausas, yeah, that's where they are. And as you can see, they have a similar festival to the rest of the other clans. which is still the Yam Festival, and it's still basically, I mean, yeah, similar to what the other clans do around the same time. Also, they have a colorful festival, and they are known for their display of the Ghanaian schmuck. The Ghanaian schmuck is a very popular attire. I don't have any examples, but you can Google the Ghanaian schmuck. Even politicians wear it, the presidents wear it. It's a very popular attire and very traditional as well. Hence why the dignitaries wear it. I mean, everybody wears it. The commoner wears it too, but it's a very popular. It's just as popular as the kente. But yeah, just as popular as the kente. So yeah, the schmuck is one of the festivals where it shows off the traditional dresses, and then the fire celebration as well, which obviously is to the songs of war, basically. So it's preparing themselves for war, and it's a celebration or a festival to that, and that is for the people in the north of Ghana. Okay, so yeah, when they say the Akan covers quite a bit of the Ghanaian people, because we have the Kriapim and Bronga Hafo, and but these are all the same people with the same similar type of festivals and similar languages. They're all from the Fon language group, which is a Niger Congo dialect, basically. So yeah. Music, we have 3 types of music, or distinct types of music: ethnical or traditional, and these are normally played during festivals and at funerals. And the music is high life. They call it high life, basically. And it's a blend of traditional and imported music and choral music, which is performed in concert halls, churches, schools, and colleges. But I want to say, when you look at the history of high life, you understand that it was when the Maroons came back to Africa to fight with the British against the Ashantis. They were singing songs, certain songs, because obviously they took the songs from Africa over there, but they kind of remixed it, so to speak. Yeah. And so when they came back, they were singing these songs, and when the traditional people heard it, or the indigenous people heard it, they incorporated that into the traditional music, and hence High Life was born. But hey, you can always go check it out. It was along those lines how High Life came to be, basically. So yeah, again, you're one people, man. It goes back around and comes back around. It goes around and comes back around, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, let's carry on. The dancing, we have obviously each ethnic group has their own traditional dances and specific dances for different occasions. I mean, how many cultures have that? You dig? I mean, specific dances for special occasions. I mean, yo, okay. Some of these specific dances are meant for funerals, celebration, storytelling, praise, and worship. Now, if everybody knows an African, everybody knows that, or should I say a black man, a sub-Saharan black man, then you would know that he is full of storytelling and celebrations praise and worship. Yeah, and funerals. All these things, yes, is the black man's domain, should I say. These various dances in Ghana are performed by the 10 regions across the country, most frequently during festivals and occasions. I already said that. Marriages, funerals. Yeah. These dances are performed to entertain and educate people. Let me repeat that. You see, when people see us dancing and stuff like that, they think, oh, it's just a dance, you know what I'm saying? But no, it's deeper than that. It's more than a dance. It's not just for entertainment, but it's for what? Education. Okay, so the example is the Gome dance, as performed by the guards of Greater Accra region of Ghana during the Homowa Festival in August. Other dances in Ghana include the Balogo, performed by the Gas, and the Abaja by the Ewes, Adowa by the Akans, Bambaya by the Northerners, Patsa by the Gardangbes, and many others. Now, I think it was the last stream or the stream before that, I think it was something to do with, is the Bible accurate or something like that. Go have a look. You see or you hear one of the songs that I played in there, and it's one of those songs, Balogo. Balogo, yeah, that's Balogo that's what Balogo is. So if you want to know what is Balogo, go back to the other streams and have a listen. I think that's the only Ghanaian song, traditional song I have on there, so you would recognize it and you will hear the word Balogo. So yeah, check it out. Let's move on, man. Customs. Funerals and libations are poured. African time is practiced. Sexuality is not discussed in Ghana, and being left-handed is frowned upon. Yeah, I mean, funerals and libation is poured for near enough everything, basically, not just funerals, but near enough everything. And yes, we have African time. We follow the different calendar, hence why our time is different. When you say 3 o'clock to an African, expect them at 5 o'clock. But it's not because they don't know time. It's just the body clock. The time is different. So no matter what you do, and this is another thing when you're in the diaspora, everything is on time. You dig? Everything is on time. But in Africa, it's a different time. And so you have to get used to that, basically. You can't go over there and expect to have the same things that you get over here, over there. And that's the mistake that maybe some of us do when we go back home. We expect everything to be the same as in the West. And that's not the case, because African time is African time. And you have to get used to that, or you have to navigate around that, basically, if you want peace of mind. Okay, let's carry on. Superstition. Yeah, that's rife in Ghana. Superstition in Africa in general. Black magic belief is strong. Yes, it is. And Ghanaian churches, yeah, they're mixing up everything in the churches, as we know. And superstition is obviously stronger in women because, I don't know, it's something to do with the emotional feel, hence why maybe women are drawn to superstition more. I'm not so sure. But yeah, that seems to be the case. But yeah, in today, I mean, yeah, because we have the tradition and we have the churches, it's like a whole lot, it's like a big ball of mix up. everything is all mixed up together. So you go in a church thinking you're going to a church, and they're doing black magic in the back, hypnotizing you, so you can empty out your pockets, and so on and so forth. You see, so yeah, these things here is 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 crazy. We have to know what we're doing basically, and know what you're getting into. Hence why we're doing this stream, so we understand the people, our people, basically, and not just go in there expecting certain things. So yeah, Ghana's obviously religious and very highly religious. Christianity, like I just said, is rife. They mix it up with the black magic and so on and so forth. But they also observe the festivals and the traditions of our culture. So it's like a whole big bowl of, yeah, confusion. But yeah, that will all be sieved and sorted out in the times to come. So we're not worried about that. But it's just to get an idea of what you're kind of walking into, basically, and the peoples, basically. So yeah, they say the Ghanaian cuisine is hey, the cuisine, damn, is many. When it comes to the food, hey, there's many, a whole heap. And if we add the diaspora's food to it, then you have, a diverse, diverse, very, very, very large, diverse, I don't know, set of foods, basically, which we have all the ingredients, the fish, the snails, if you're into that, meat or mushrooms, the fruits. Oh God, man, I'm not gonna, you can Google all these things basically, and we get into that. But yeah, also there's what do you call it? We have our football, and you can see all the references out there. You can check them out. I mean, the sources are there. They're cited right here. You can always have a look at them, and yeah. So right now we're gonna go into 1 second. The Akan religion. Hold on, let me just stop sharing this for a second. And wait. Yeah, so we're gonna go into 1 second. Bear with me. Yeah. Yeah. Can we see this? Akan religion? Yeah, we can. Okay, so I put this up for a reason, because this digs deeper, a little bit deeper into basically the religion and the people around the whole of Africa. And it's not just the Ashantis, it's the whole of the African religious system that are connected. That are connected. There's a connection there, is what I'm trying to say. And this will bring out that connection within the whole of Africa rather than just the Akan alone. So let's get into it. The Akan religion, and again, this is Wikipedia. I see Wikipedia is good, depending on what you are looking for. If you know what you're looking for, then yes, it could be a very effective way of looking at, referencing your stuff, and basically just looking at stuff for reference purposes. So let's go. Akan religion comprises the traditional beliefs and religious practices of the Akan people of Ghana and Eastern Ivory Coast. So now it's stretching, not just in Ghana, it goes to the eastern part of Ivory Coast. So when we say Akan, it's not, Akan means it's a big umbrella and it stretches basically. So let's carry on. The Akan religion is referred to as Akom from the tree word Akom, meaning prophecy. Although most Akan people have identified as Christians since the early 20th century, Akan religion remains practiced by some and is often syncretized with Christianity. The Akans have many subgroups, including the Fanti, the Ashanti, Ekriapim, the Wassa, the Abron, the Anyi, and the Baoli, among others. So the religion varies greatly by region and subgroup. Similar to other traditional religions of West and Central Africa, such as West African Voodoo, Yoruba religion, or Odinani, which is what some of these other YouTube channels speak about. I think when they say Sununi Nani or something like that, Sunini Nani or something like that. But yeah, this is Odinani, yeah, Nani or something like that. Yeah, but you can see how the connection is there within the whole of Africa, basically religiously. So this is why it goes back. All of these people and all of these subgroups, end groups, or clans have their languages, therefore have names for the supreme deity. But it's all one because the practices and everything else is the same, basically. And what is all of this about? It's telling us the cosmology. This is how our ancestors managed to navigate the earth and understand their environment through cosmology, which consists of a senior god who generally does not interact with humans and many gods who assist humans. Now, I will say this. Our cosmology consists of a senior god. That's correct. Whether he interacted with humans or not, I cannot say because I don't have that information. But we know that the senior god whom we know as Akans is Chudiampon Kwame, which means that one, it's a masculine god, and two, it has to be a being because it has a name attached to him. So yeah, and it's not just Chudiampon Kwame. The Gans who refer to their supreme deity as Atana Anyumo is also masculine. Mau is also masculine for the Ewes, and so on and so forth. So all the senior gods of Africa are masculine and are beings, spiritual beings, because they have names. And so, yeah, when we come down to the Anansi, that's something that everybody has heard, basically. Now, it says the Anansi spider is a folk hero who is prominent in Ashanti folk tales, where he is depicted as a wise trickster. In other aspects, the Akan spirituality, Anansi is also sometimes considered both a trickster and a deity associated with wisdom, responsible for creating the first animate humans, if I got that right, according to scholar Anthony Ephraim Donko. This is similar to Legba, who is also both a trickster and a deity in West African Voodoo. So again, there's an association with West African and Central religion, basically. And yeah, it tells you that yes, we might be Africans and we might be different tribes and so on, but we have the understanding amongst each other that we worship the same deity, supreme deity, but it's just different names for the same deity because of the language. And that's about it, basically. And so, yeah, I feel that in times to come, I mean, or in times before, there was one language. But again, we don't know what happened. But for all the tribes to be worshiping one particular supreme deity and have different names for him, it just shows you that something happened along the way where languages was broken down, and therefore hence why this came about, where all the other tribes had names for that one particular supreme deity. But let's carry on. Deities. Okay, so it says followers of Akan spirituality believe in a supreme goddess who created the universe. She is distant and does not interact with humans. Now, you see, it says citation needed, because why? This is not correct. The Ashantis believe in, like I just said, a supreme deity who is masculine and is called Tridiampon Kwame. So this does not tally with what I just said. But let's go further and see if they're going to, well, let's just go further and see. It says the creator God takes on different names depending upon the worship or region of worship, including Nyame, Nyankopon. See, like I was saying before, all of these names are to the same supreme deity, basically. And yeah, these names in particular are from just one tribe alone, which is the Akan. But when you look at the whole of the Akan, I mean the whole of the African deities, they're all the same, basically. One creator, but with different names. So they say that there is no concept of the Trinity in Akan religion, like Christianity, but rather the veneration of the Creator. So yes, they're correct here. There's no Trinity like what Christianity has made up, basically. It's just the Creator and Mother Earth and the ancestors. Now, besides the Abosum, where did they say? Abosum, basically. We'll get into that because it's coming up. But yeah, Christianity took this concept and then made it into a trinity, because like all these names or all these gods like Mother Earth and stuff like that, they make them gods, basically, and then they make it a trinity. So they say the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, when it's nothing like that. Africans never looked at no Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. You dig? Let's carry on. The Supreme Creator is an omnipresent, omnipotent Sky Father. Asasiya, also known as Mother Earth, is equal with the Creator. Now, I don't think that is right. There can never be equal with the Creator if the Creator is the Creator. You dig? But I get what the Ashantis are trying to say, because the Creator created Mother Earth, and Mother Earth creates basically by producing food. So therefore, that's why she is called Mother Earth, because she produces. And so because of that, Yeah. It had to be. That's why we're man, male and female. You dig? And not two males. Because Chidiampong Kwame is basically male, and the female partner or counterpart is those that gives or produces, basically. So the word produces because it manifests. So the word is automatically female, basically, and the word is what created Mother Earth. You dig? So it's the female, basically. There's females. And if you look at the females, our females, man, it had to be a black man that created. I'm sorry, but yeah, when you look at the structure, the body shapes and all that, man, it's got to be a man that loves his women. You dig? To create black women the way that they are, as beautiful and anyway, let's carry on. Yeah, together they brought forth two children, Bio and Tano. Now this could be some kind of story for another clan in Africa somewhere. I haven't heard of this particular story where the creator has two children or any children. We just know the creator, Chidiampong Kwame. We know Mother Earth, and that's it, basically. We don't know about children. But let's carry on. The creator is connected to Saturdays, hence why we call him Chidiampong Kwame, because Kwame is a Saturday born name, basically. And Chidiampong is a bit like omnipresent, omnipotent, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that makes sense. While Asasiya, Mother Earth, is connected to Thursdays and Thursday borns, hence revered by farmers on Thursdays. So yeah, that's correct too. Asasiya, Ya is a Thursday born name. So if you're born on Saturday, you have the name of the creator, basically. So you have to walk accordingly. And if you have the name of Asasiya, which is a Thursday, then again, you're the producer, you're the home, you're the producer, you feed, you're the nourisher. So yeah, therefore you have to act accordingly. And yeah. Anyway, let's carry on. Abosom, the lower deities or spirits, assist humans on earth. They are akin to Orisha in Yoruba religion, the Vudan in West African Vudan, and its derivatives such as Loa in Haitian Vudan and Alusi in Odinani. Abosom receive their power from the creator God and are most often connected to the world as it appears in its natural state. Priests serve individual Abosom and act as mediators between Abosom and humankind. Many of those who believe in these traditions participate in daily prayer, which includes pouring of libation as an offering to both ancestors who are buried under the earth and to spirits who are everywhere. Okay, Abosoms can also be known as Atano gods. They are led by Tano, the Ashanti nature god of war and strife, son of Nyami. Now, okay, you see, again, the way that they've worded this is speaking to me differently. Why am I saying that? Okay, so we know that we have our base, which is our supreme deity, which is Chidiampong Kwame, and we have Asasiya and the Word, which is Mother Earth, and the Word, basically, which is wisdom. But here we have lower deities or spirits. Now, when you look at the Bible calls these, or you probably might equate them to angels. But I beg to differ because, again, you see, the Bible paints a picture like the Abusums, because this is where the angels and stuff is where they plagiarized it from here, basically, because it says is Abusum received their power from the Creator God and are most often connected to the world as it appears in its natural state. So this is what we call pretty up. They're trying to pretty up this whole thing when they know that it's not of natural causes. Why do I say that? Because anybody who visits these Abusums never end well. I don't see anyone that has ended well, basically. Yes, you might get temporarily certain things, people killed, wealth, certain things, but eventually the end is never ever pleasant. And hey, you can put in the comment section if you want. I mean, I know there's plenty of Ashantis who are gonna watch this, or Ghanaians in general that are gonna watch this. If I'm wrong, please, I would like to be corrected. But from what I know that this is what brought about the downfall of the black man. This Abusum situation, communicating with the dead and so on. I think in English, I think it's called necromancy or something to that effect. Don't quote me, but I believe that's what it is. But yeah, this is what brought us down to our low state. This is something that we shouldn't be doing, because why? Like I said, it's never ended. It's never been an instant where it's ended good, like it's been for the greater good of anybody. But people still do it because of the ego and, the selfishness and, the, what they call it, revenge and all types of reasons why people go to these things or these places or practice these things. And so, yeah, personally, I believe that this was the downfall of my people. And yeah, I was reading, you see, when you do stuff like this, it probably puts some kind of, I don't know, because they were saying that there's this gene that blocks your memory. Hence why we don't know who we are and where we came from. I mean, yeah, we were subjected to some atrocious stuff, but would that eliminate our memory entirely? I don't feel so. There's something either being put in the food to poison us, to make us forget that side, where we're from, or something, or go into these things is lowering our state, that it's made us forget basically where we come from. But there's some kind of chemical imbalance in the brain caused by something that we are doing, basically, that is bringing us down. And they've put it in the Bible like it's a good thing, angels and this and that. I mean, yeah, it does say do not go to these things in the Bible. I get that, but we're talking undertones. You see, it's for the subconscious mind. if you feel like there's angels, good angels, that means that you can talk to these things. Basically, it's the same way. If you feel there's bad spirits, you can talk. Likewise, you can talk to them. And if you can talk to the dead, then you're gonna do that. Hence why people talk to the dead. You get what I'm saying? So to me personally, in my spirit, I feel this is what brought us down to our very low state. So anyway, I don't want to go on too much. But again, also the Ashanti, I mean, where they put the Ashanti nature, god of war and strife, they're talking about how they made up the God of Israel, because that's the God of Israel right there, the God of war and strife. Indeed, that's how they made him up. All from right here. And they, anyway, I'm going to bring that out towards the end of the stream, because this Egyptian thing, they made up that too, basically. But anyway, let's carry on. Let's not digress at all. Yeah, so we're going to see how it's connected, the religion of Africa, which is basically with each tribe having a name for the same one God. And we're going to see how it's kind of spread out, basically, because we are the same people. Whether you're in North America, South America, whatever place you are in the islands, it's the same people. But let's carry on and read. According to Long, Akan, then referred to as Koromanti, culture obliterated any other African customs, and incoming non-Akan Africans had to submit to the culture of the majority Akan population in Jamaica. So, I mean, we're the same people, so they had no problem adapting, basically, because if their culture is not prevalent, then yeah, they understand that what the Akans are doing is the same thing of what is the same thing that they were doing, but it's just that it was in a different lingua, basically. So it's no thing for them to submit or even incorporate themselves into that religion or that way of life, should I say, basically. So yeah, much like a foreigner migrating to a foreign country, it's not the same, but I get it. Yeah, it's definitely not the same, because we're the same people with the same practices. It's just different languages, that's all. So yeah, it's the same people, but any which way. Other than Anansi stories, Akan religion made a huge impact. The Akan pantheon of gods, referred to as Abosom. See, again, they're trying to push this Abosom thing. And when you see this, then you know that this Abosom thing cannot be a good thing. Enslaved Akan would praise Nyankopon, right? Erroneously written by the British as Akompong, right? You see, not related to the Maroon leader Akompong. Okay, so I was going to say something related to that, but before I did that, the source corrected me. Okay, so Nyankopon, the British wrote it as Akompong, but I was going to say that I've been to Akompong town in Jamaica, and for me, I thought it was based on Ekropong in Ghana, because Ekropong is similar to Akompong. But here it's saying there was a leader whose name was Echampong. Echampong is a Ghanaian name, an Akan name, basically, an Ashanti name in particular. And maybe through pronunciation, became a compound. But hey, it's the same thing, and it shows that we're the same people. You can't. The mirror doesn't lie. You look in the mirror and you're going to tell me you're somebody else. You must be a fool. You have to be a fool if you're going to tell me you're somebody else. And I'm looking at you and you look like me and I look like you. Nah. Anyway, libations will be poured to Asasiya and Ipo, the sea god. Bonsam was referred to as the god of evil. That's correct. Bonsam means Satan. And yeah, that's referred to as the god of evil. Yeah, for sure. That's true. Komfu, the word Akom, from the word Akom, the name of the Akan spiritual system, was documented as Maya and originally found in books, while the term Komfu is still used by the Jamaican Maroons. The priest of Komfu was called a Komfu man, not a Kung Fu as in Kung Fu fighting. Yeah, with that too. Listen, we brought forth all of that, everything. But yes, we're talking the priests who are the Kung Fu man, basically. The Jamaican Maroon spirit possession language, a creolized form of Akan, is used in religious ceremonies of some Jamaican Maroons. So they speak the languages still, basically. And okay, let's get deeper into it, because this is you see, this is what I'm saying. We have to know each other as we are today. So when we meet, let's just say we meet, we go to Jamaica, or the Jamaicans or the islanders come to us. They have their ways, basically. And so we have to know their ways too. Likewise, they have to know our ways. So, and you see, the thing is, it's all connected. We all connected, but we have made ourselves distant. But when you look at the history or our story, you will see that we're connected. We're the same people. So why the distance? Anyway, let's carry on and let's get into it. Kung Fu evolved into revival, a syncretic Christian sect. Yeah. Kung Fu followers gravitated to the American revival of 1800s Seventh-day Adventist movement because it observed Saturday as God's day of rest. You see, again, how they draft things in to make themselves comfortable. Hence why the seventh day is very popular in places like Jamaica and all over the islands. Basically, they're very popular over there. You dig? And this is how things morph into each other, basically, because you are who you are. You can't run away from that. But to integrate, you adopt certain things. And this is what we always did, adopt things. Hence, the Seventh-day Adventist movement. Anyway, this was a shared Aboriginal belief of the Akan people, as this too was the day of the Akan god. Nyami rested after creating the earth. This is again their narrative. Nyami rested after creating the earth. Yeah, this is we don't have this narrative in amongst us. Nah, this is definitely a European narrative. Anyway, Jamaicans that were aware of their Ashanti past while wanting to keep hidden mixed their Kung Fu spirituality with the American Adventists to create the Jamaican Revival of 1860. Revival has two sects: 60 order, or Zion Revival, the order of the heavens, and the 61 order, or Pocomania, the order of the earth. See, this starts going into some kind of what they call it, Illuminati shit, Masons shit. But any which way, let's carry on. 60 order worships God and spirits of air or the heavens on a Saturday and considers itself to be more clean. Sect 61 order more deals with spirits of the earth. This division of Kung Fu clearly shows the dichotomy of Nyame and Asasiya's relationship. Nyame representing air and has his 60 order. Asasiya having her 61 order on the earth. Also, the Ashanti's funeral war colors, red and black, have the same meaning in revival of vengeance. Again, yes, we wear red and black when it comes to funerals and stuff like that, and also to war because there's going to be death. But yeah, let's carry on. Other Ashanti elements include the use of swords and rings as means to guard the spirits from spiritual attack. Again, these are all through the bosoms and so on and so forth, things that we're not supposed to be doing. But yeah, let's carry on. The Asante Hine, like the mother woman of revival, has special two swords used to protect himself from witchcraft called Akrafene, or sword, and a Busum Fena, or spirit sword. So yeah, you can see how closely connected African religion is to the diaspora, basically, which makes us one and the same. But let's carry on. We're going to Suriname now. You see, Winti is an Afro-Surinamese religion, which is largely derived from both Akom and Vudan, with Vudan gods such as Loko, Aizu, and so on. So again, you see the connection right there. Suriname, basically, when we go down to Haiti, it says Haitian Voodoo is a syncretic religion that combines Vudan with several other African religions, in addition to influences from Catholicism, whatever it is. God damn, these English words. Yeah. They mess you up, man. It's all spells, man. So yeah, F that if I don't get it right. Don't worry about that. Let's concentrate on the information. Yeah. Here, latent influences of Akan beliefs can be seen in the incorporation of Anansi as one of the Loa worship in the Haitian region. He is often depicted as maintaining the connection between the living and their deceased ancestors. So again, it's the same thing here, basically, all over the world, as Humpty Hump and Tupac would say, all around the world, same song. It's just the same old song. We're the same old people, you know what I'm saying, whether the wicked like it or not. Yeah, man, we have to come rally. That's what we say. So, yeah, what is all this about is the question we're asking. What was it in aid of? This is what we're going to go into, basically. Why or how the Africans kind of navigated their environment or dealt with their environment, basically. So we're going to go into that. Bear with me one second. We're going to go how we navigated and dealt with our environment and how everything is plagiarized. But oh yes, before I do that, let me just quickly expand on this. Now, you see, this is how everything, they make everything kind of like a god. We don't view things like that. all those other things that they said are gods are not to us. We just know our supreme deity, Tridiampon Kwame, and for the gods, Atana Anyumo, for the airways, Mao, for others, we have Chinike, we have Takori, even Sunini Nani, or whatever they call it. No, I shouldn't even say that, but I should try and get that right. My apologies. Yeah, Sunini Nani, that's it. Yeah, a bit tongue-tied for me, but there we go. I got it in the end. Yeah, but all of these names are tied to one supreme deity, basically. And so, yeah, we're looking at death now, and we say Owo. Owo is what we call death in the Ashanti or Akan way of life. And even with the Ewe, when we say Akan, the Ewe are Akan. But any which way, he is represented with the Adinkra symbol of a ladder. Okay, so a ladder means that what they mean was that you're transitioning into the next realm. So therefore you need a ladder to climb into the next realm. And that's why they use the ladder as a symbol for death, basically, because it's a transitional thing. That's what it means. I mean, forget what it says all here, as in it's the bosom of death and XYZ. But this was the thinking of our ancestors, because they don't know what is beyond death, but they know that it's an ascension, i.e. it's a transition. So therefore they just use the ladder as a symbol of death. I mean, that makes sense to me, but let's carry on. I'm not going to read all these stories because I'm not familiar with these stories. Not to say whether they're true or not, but I just don't. I've never heard of these stories that they've attached to death. But yeah, quite simply, Owo is what we call death, basically. And yeah, there's many stories about Owo. You can always go and read it for yourself. I mean, I'm not going to get into all of this because to me, it's just stories that have been made up. But again, in the beginning, I also said to you that we are full of storytelling, basically. Or if you look, the airways have their version or their ways or ideas of what Owo is. But traditionally, nobody knows. I mean, like is being depicted, the ladder is basically. I'm just scrolling down so you can see all of these things, all of these stories attached to death or war, basically, and you have your cited references here. You can go check them out yourself. But bottom line, or war is just death for us. And for us, death signifies a transition to the other side of town. Wherever that town is, we don't know, but it's just a transition. Yeah, so we're gonna go into what I originally said we were gonna do before I came across this award thing. So let me just go back into this, because again, this is how our ancestors used to navigate the earth and deal with the earth, basically. So here we go. And this is where the West have plagiarized, basically, this whole thing. Are we there? Are we there? No. Yes, sir. We're there. We're there. Okay, so basically, we're looking at This is what our ancestors used basically to kind of understand our environment and to deal with our environment. And this is where the Egyptians got the name Osiris. But this is a star which the Greeks named Sirius. And so let's get into it. Sirius is the brightest star. Hold on, let me just make sure that we are. Yeah, we are. Okay, so yeah, let's get into it. Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky. It is named, or its name is derived from the Greek word, whatever, Sirius, meaning lit, glowing, or scorching. The star is designated XYZ, Latinized to Canis Majoris, and abbreviated Sigma or Alpha Sigma, or CMA, whatever, with visual apparent magnitude of minus XYZ. Sirius is almost twice as bright as Canopus, the next brightest star. Sirius is a binary star consisting of the main sequence star of spectral type AO or AI. We've heard of that word AI, but hey, let's carry on. Term Sirius A and a faint white dwarf companion of spectral type DA2 termed Serial B. The distance between the two varies between 8.2 and 31.5 astronomical units as they orbit every 50 years. Sirius appears bright because of its intrinsic luminosity and its proximity to the solar system. At a distance of 2.46 parsecs, the Sirius system is one of Earth's nearest neighbors. Sirius is gradually moving closer to the solar system. It is expected to increase in brightness and slightly over the next 60,000 years. Yo, but any which way, this is basically Sirius A is about twice as massive as the sun and has an absolute visual magnitude of all of these and is as luminous as the sun, but has a specifically lower luminosity than any other bright stars such as Canopus, Betelgeuse, or wherever, Rigel, and so on. Now, when we go, it says Sirius is, when we go down, it says Sirius is colloquially known as the dog star, reflecting its prominence in its constellation Canis Major, the greater dog. The heliacal rising of Sirius marked the flooding of the Nile in ancient Egypt and the dog days of summer for the ancient Greeks, while to the Polynesians, mostly in the southern hemisphere, the star marked winter and was most important reference for their navigation around the Pacific Ocean. So what we see here now basically is a star that is used to kind of navigate certain situations, certain weathers and seasons and so on and so forth. But they named it the dog star. Why did they name it the dog star? We'll get into that, I believe, when we keep scrolling down. But yeah, dog star is because they were doing strange creations at that time, and the stars like messed around with the dog's equilibrium. Who knows? But we'll get into that. I'm just digressing again. But yes, as we can see, what we saw in the last stream, where I think it was Jordan Maxwell speaking, talking about the Egyptians expecting a flood every, season, basically. And then when the flood came, then they acknowledged the life that came after the flood, basically. And so, and that's where the Bible got the flood story from, basically. In ancient Egypt, it's been echoed right here. And obviously, it had some effect for the Greeks and obviously the Polynesians. But let's carry on. The brightest star seen from Earth, Sirius, is recorded in some of the earliest astronomical records. Its displacement from the ecliptic causes its heliacal rising to be remarkably regular compared to other stars, with a period of almost exactly 365.xyz holding the days of the solar year. It says it rises at Cairo on the Julian calendar, and then placing it before the onset of the annual flood of the Nile during antiquity. Owing to the flood's own irregularity, the extreme position of the star's return made it important to the ancient Egyptians, who worshipped it as the goddess Sopdet, ancient Egyptian, whatever, and Triangle Greek, guarantor of fertility of their land. The ancient Greeks observed that the appearance of the Sirius is as the morning star heralded the hot morning and dry summer, and feared that the star caused plants to wilt, men to weaken, and women to become aroused. That's a good thing. Anyway, it's just jokes, man. Say, I joke, I kid. Yeah, but any which way, yeah. Owing to its brightness, Sirius would have been seen to twinkle more in the unsettled weather conditions of early summer. So again, you see, these are things that were like markers that our ancestors were using, which the Greeks and those Latin people and so on were copying. But any which way, let's go. They say Egypt, but Egypt is a made-up thing, and the history is perverse. So let's not sleep on that. Let's carry on. To the Greek observers, this signified emanations that caused this malignant influence. Hey, my reading is not good today, but bear with me. Anyone suffering its effects was said to be starstruck. That's where we get the word starstruck. See, everything makes sense when you're digging in and you start to, look into it. It was described as burning or flaming in literature. The seasons following the star's reappearance came to be known as the dog days. The inhabitants of the island of Chios in the Aegean Sea would offer sacrifices to Sirius and Zeus to bring cooling breezes, and would await their appearance of the star in the summer. So we can see that, again, this is the same star, basically, but there's a reason why I'm reading it like this, because everything goes back and has to go back to the Africans. Let's carry on. The Romans celebrated healing settings of Sirius around 25th of April, sacrificing a dog along with incense, wine, a sheep to the goddess Robigo, so the stars and emanations would not cause wheat rust on the wheat crops that year. Yeah. Bright stars were important to the ancient Polynesians for navigation, which obviously our ancestors used. See, they used it for all of these things. And these guys came along and saw what we were doing, and then they started using it for their their purposes. But let's carry on. The declination of Sirius matches the latitude of the archipelago of Fiji at 17 degrees Celsius, and thus passes directly over the islands each sidereal day. So we can see that this Sirius star is very important, very, very important. Sirius serves as a body of a great bird constellation called Manu, with Canopus as the southern wingtip, the Procon, the northern wingtip, which divided the Polynesian night sky into two hemispheres. Just as the appearance of Sirius in the morning sky marked summer in Greece, it marked the onset of winter in the Maori, whose name, Takuria Wari, described both the star and the season. Its accumulation of at the winter solace was marked by celebration in Hawaii, known as the Kualua, Queen of Heaven. Many other Polynesian names have been recorded, including the Tawa in the Marquesas Island, the Rua in New Zealand, and the Tawafu Papa Festival of Original High Chiefs. Whatever. So we can see it stretches down even all through the Polynesian islands, Tahiti, Hawaii, and all these other islands. They're all following the same Sirius star. Kinematics. You see, again, we're talking about the distance. All of these you can read for yourself, because I don't want to get into it too deeply. But what I would say is that I want to bring, one second. You see all these figures that they've put out there, 2 billion parsecs and whatever, 3.4 light years and all of this. That's all bullshit. All these figures you see is a whole lot of nonsense. And I will tell you why in a second, why it's a whole lot of nonsense. But any which way is to do with the stars and the study of stars, basically. We're looking at the etymology of the word Sirius, and it tells us Sirius, about Sirius. But what I wanted to bring to your attention, you see here, it says in the Chinese astronomy, you find Sirius, the Sirius star, which is represented in Chinese and Japanese as a celestial wolf. That's another form of a dog. But what I wanted to bring to you here is this, basically, because they put that way at the bottom after they put in all that nonsense at the top. Yeah, it says the Dagon people, an ethnic group in Mali, West Africa, reported by researchers to have traditional astronomical knowledge about Sirius or Sirius that would normally be considered impossible without the use of telescopes. So they're telling you that these guys in Africa, these guys were on a different level, because without telescopes, they knew about this stuff. Well, so all these other guys with all these calculations that they put in there, these false calculations that they put in there, basically, they still can't get it right. because their formula is based on a fraudulent formula. You dig what I'm saying? Their formula can never be right. And it says here, even in Senegal, the people of Syria said, I mean, look, you can go and read it for yourselves. I'm not going to read all of these things here because I do not want to make the stream too long just for the sake of it. So please, you can go and read it. And yeah, you can decipher things for yourself. But I want to come back to why I say that all this calculations and numbers are just that, numbers. You see, all those calculations, okay, when we're looking at certain things, basically, we're looking at numbers, and numbers has a formula or foundation, so to speak. Hold on, let me just, or should I leave this on? Okay, let me leave this on for a second while I explain this. Yeah, numbers have a formula. It has a basic formula. So we're going to do an experiment, basically, to show you how, if the basic formula is fraudulent, or is wrong or incorrect, then everything else is incorrect. And before I do that, I just want to say that this actor, there's a famous actor in Hollywood today, a black dude. I think his name was Terrence. I've forgotten the name, but yeah, Terrence. I heard that from him, and I have to share that with you on over here because it's very important, especially about all these figures and all these science bullshit that they're feeding us. And saying, oh, the Earth is whatever million years, 6,000 or whatever billion years, whatever. How did you get that calculation? You have to use the basic formula. And what's the basic formula? The mathematical formula, which is what? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, and what? Addition, subtraction, and division. Sorry. Yeah. So let's do a little experiment here. I'm going to do a little experiment just to break it down in a simpler form, how this whole, what do you call it, is stupid. So we say division and subtraction are similar, basically, because you're dividing, you're taking away. And likewise, addition and multiplication are similar because you're added. So let's look at this now. If you take 1 and you add 1, what do you get? You get 2. Oh no, okay, let me do it like this instead. If you get 1 and you add 0, what do you get? 1. Right? Okay, so if you take 1 and you divide it by 1, what do you get? 1. How does that work out? So let's look at it like this. You have 1. Let's represent 1 with energy. So you have 1, which is an energy, and then you have no energy. So if you add that 1 energy, basically, hold on, maybe I'm just confusing myself. Okay, if you have 1 energy and you times it by 0, basically no energy, they say you get 0. How is that? So what happened to that 1 energy that is there, basically? But if you add 1 energy and you add another, I mean, you take away another energy, what do you get? Hold on. I'm confusing myself right here. No, okay. If you times 1 times 0 equals 0. That can't be, because again, One is an energy, basically. And if you add nothing to it, you're going to have to get one, especially if your time's in it, because if your time's in it, it's a multiplication. So how do you get zero? You dig? So in effect, that makes the whole formula kind of wrong, basically. So all these calculations that you're seeing, basically, are all based on a wrong formula. And if it's based on a wrong formula, then the whole thing is wrong. Even with all these tools that they have. And the Africans, without all these tools, manage to always navigate the system. That's why the system is, that's why they say, what do you call it, climate change and XYZ, because all the isms that they're putting together is not making no sense. It's not adding up. Hence why the earth is all tumbling and bubbling, because the formulas that they're putting together to engineer the earth is wrong. Hence the earthquakes and so on and so forth. It's all wrong. You dig? But yeah, I don't think I made that analogy as clear, but it's simple. If you have one, basically, and you add one, or you minus, okay, you have one energy, and you take away that one energy, you're gonna have nothing. Right? So if you have one energy and you take away that energy, you have nothing. But if you have one energy and you times it by nothing, you still have nothing. How does that work out? You're supposed to have one. But in their mythology, you have nothing. And it's all due to the fact that they want to kind of pull the wool over your eyes, use some kind of fraudulent behavior, which goes all throughout the commas as well as everything. It just goes through everything. So it's all fraudulent. Hence why there's so much confusion in these systems today, like there was in the systems prior to this. So yes, these are the things that we have to basically pay attention to as Black people. We be doing things that, let me stop sharing this. We've been doing things that have brought us way down in terms of our spirit. And so we're not working on that higher level of understanding and that higher level of what you call it, elevation. Yeah, we're not operating on that. So we need to go back and connect with our people, basically, and work with our people, i.e., work with their ideas as well as them working with our ideas. It's one hand washes the other hand type of thing. And that's the only way we're going to make it, basically, as a nation of people. And I feel that we're going to go back to the way that we were supposed to be, i.e., eating naturally and looking after ourselves. And, we've got our scientists and our, farmers and stuff like that. We know ways, because we are the people, to elevate ourselves, and we're going to do that. But we just have to work with the peoples and not think that whatever knowledge that they have is inferior, is the point I'm trying to make. Because, again, everybody has something to offer. So when you work with somebody, then, okay, what do I mean by that? Work with somebody, i.e., you go out there and, let's say, for instance, if it's somebody who's a craftsperson, You help them build a business rather than them relying on you, um, which is what the West, we do in the West. We control everything. No, let them build stuff for themselves, and you're there maybe with the finance or maybe with something and the advice, and you're helping them to basically achieve the goal, basically, of building their own business and becoming their own boss, and them in turn hiring other people as well to elevate them. And yeah, it just goes all the way around, and everybody starts to elevate, so to speak. Um, this is the kind of mentality we need to be having as we're going into this period of do for self, i.e., Africans doing for Africans. This is the period basically where we need people whom have, that structure, that was it, a yearn to see us back where we was in terms of our higher state, So yeah, man, we need to always, wherever we go, whether it's in Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, Sierra Leone, South Africa, doesn't matter where we go. We just have to get in tune with the people and their ways, so to speak, and then move accordingly. And yeah, we can't lose, because in turn, we'll get protection, we'll get respect, you get synchronized into the society. You get what I'm saying? And all of these things, you have a peaceful life, you have a more fruitful life, because you feel like you're giving back, you're doing something. You dig? So yeah, these are the things that we need to be looking to, and start connecting. And also, if you're here, start connecting with people back home, or somebody who is an African. If you're from the West Indies, America, South America, wherever, connect with the Africans, basically, so you have a link. Because it's always better to go back with a link rather than just walking back into, the unknown, so to speak. So yeah, connect, and let's build back. And so, yeah, man. Oh, one sec. Then, yeah, let's connect and build back. So that's what we definitely need to be doing. You know what I'm saying? A big shout out to Ghost WZA. Yes, Kofi Edu. What's up? Soldier General. Salute, Ghost WZA. Yes, man. Shalom. I mean, Yiwa, because he said shalom. Shalom, SB, because he said shalom. You see, we got to work with the peoples, man, but we got to change up the whole, we have to go back to ours, you know what I'm saying, and change up the whole dynamic, So, yeah, I mean, for now, it's neither here or there, but we know that when we're in the land, we're going to behave kind of like differently type thing. So yeah, man, Charlie, I'm energized, and I know that everybody around me that I know are energized in the same way that I am. And so yeah, man, shalom to Yiwa, shalom to B. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I gotta say that again, because we're following, what the people them, even though at this point in time, I personally am not in the shalom thing. That's me. Everybody is different. So yeah, man, we're gonna keep working till we all get to the same place. Or keep walking till we get to the same place. Sometimes it could be an oversight, which it did happen to me the last week. I came in and first thing I said was shalom. I said, wait, did I say shalom? What the hell's going on here, man? That's crazy. But yeah, man, yeah, much love to all of you, believe, definitely. Yeah, man. And much respect as well to all of you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Yeah, for me, it's not about, you know what I'm saying? I just want us to kind of get together. And when we go out there, I don't want to hear those unfortunate stories because people didn't do homework, basically. Again, when you look at, when you come into Africa, one thing you also have to understand is yes, we do use the what do you call it, the westernized judicial system, but when it comes to civil cases and stuff like that, i.e., land matters and stuff like that, we use our own traditional laws. You get what I'm saying? That's why people come and they kind of like, oh man, I can't dig this, man. These guys, it's like the laws are different. And yeah, you have to understand that yeah, we were colonized, so therefore we're using Christianity, and you live abroad, so therefore you're using the same worldwide system, but don't expect to have that same system wherever you go. You dig? You have to adjust in everything that you do when you get to a new place. You see? So yeah, man. I mean, for me, it's important. It's very, very, very important that we get to understand and adjust when we do get over there, and not expect that we're gonna have the same UK or America or Germany or wherever in Africa, because we're just not Europeans. We don't do things like the Europeans. And we have to keep that in mind. Just because you've been abroad doesn't mean that you are from abroad. You're still from where you're from. And we got to keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream right now. I thank you all for coming in. Yeah, salute and respect. But in particular, I want to dedicate the stream to two people. The first is two people whom we lost, should I say. And the first is Teddy Brockshot, original Teddy Brockshot. This stream is dedicated to you. And more importantly, to Sir Chris. I'm not going to mention his full name because whoever knows him knows who he is. And so, yeah, the stream is dedicated to Teddy Brockshot and Sir Chris. Salute. You're both ancestors now. And yeah, we hope you sleep well till we meet again. So, yeah, man, we're going to end the show with a tune by Teddy Brockshot himself, with the eye backing him, basically, in the good old days when we used to do things, jamming. It was fun. But yeah, this is a dedication. R.I.P. Teddy Brockshot and Sir Chris. Yeah, man. Give thanks. Yes, and big shout out to everyone who passed away. You're definitely in our hearts. And yeah, man, rest in peace. We're waiting for Teddy Brockshot to come in with a big tune there.
another World War III of war. Feed us in your new city. Where's the love you got from you were a kid? Where is the love you got from you were a kid? Why can't you live like good brothers and sisters and one big family? We don't want no more war. Oh, no. Don't want no more war. War. Your missile and your rocket you fire. Fathers and mothers die. Innocent children, young ones to die. Imagine one mistake. Oh, they all each other stand and cry. Oh, lion, who can running for their life? Man, I say, we don't want no more war. Oh, no. Don't want no more war. War. Teddy Ramsey, we don't want no more war. We don't want no more war. Got to make
Don't
another rocket to fire.
want no more
Innocent father and mother,
fire.
innocent children, and young
Innocent,
ones die.
innocent children. Yeah, man. This one is dedicated to Sir Chris. Rest in peace, General. Salute. And we out. Peace. One. Hop and run it. Peace. Yes, you are. Thank you very much. I nearly forgot to say my usual. On to the next. Salute. Oh.
Say it's real love, alright. I'm searching for my real love. Classic. I'm searching for my real love. Say it's real love, alright. I'm searching for my real love. No more caring. I don't act my foot for you, baby. No one beat and play you, my lady. No more, no more. Saturday night, hanging with my own boys. Saw this little pretty thing, smiling, got jealousy. I saw the thing my homies couldn't see. So I stepped to her, introduced myself. I go by the name Luminous. Oh, so dandy. My area girls them sempre. Your beauty then not then. This girl told me to sweat that, yeah. Oh yeah, baby, come chop my money. This your love, they told me to Dundee. Oh yeah, baby, come be my honey. Hey, na na na. It's real love, alright. I'm searching for my real love. No more caring, no more shawty. I don't act my foot for you, baby. No one beat and play you, my lady. No more, no more. No more caring, no more shawty. I don't act my foot for you, baby. No one beat and play you, my lady. No more, no more. Girl, I've been around the world. I don't see so many faces. I don't see my beauty queen. No more searching different places. Classic. See the money around my kids. The one we could give me dreams, yeah. Oh, my toe then, yeah. My area girls them sempre. Your beauty then not then. This girl told me to sweat that, yeah. Oh yeah, baby, come chop my money. This your love, they told me to Dundee. Oh yeah, baby, come be my honey. Hey, na na na. It's real love, alright. I'm searching for my real love. No more caring, no more shawty. I don't act my foot for you, baby. No one beat and play you, my lady. No
classic.